Historically, studies have shown that for every dollar spent on investments in transportation and infrastructure, the gross domestic product grows by $1.59.
We're talking about funding.
Funding comes for transportation through the political process. Air, rail, transit. That's why it's important for us to maintain relationships with members of Congress.
Raise the gas tax, index it for inflation, and then work for long-term sustainability.
The federal government funds Amtrak, and we're right about 80% self-sufficient, but that 20% we depend on the transit bill to get our funding.
We want to open up these lines of communication. We want to establish a rapport.
It's about holding people accountable in Washington and at the state level and at the local level.
We're voters and we put them in office and they work for us.
Building relationships over the long term, starting at the state level and the local level and then coming up to the federal level.
When I was in the state legislature, I have so many friends from Transport Workers Union that were there for me for the very beginning.
It doesn't matter if it's Republican, Democrat, Independent. We separate the people from the problem. We focus on our interests. If they have those shared interests, then we're all for supporting them.
I like the fact that we had a lot of people come down from the Hill to speak at the reception.
That just reiterated what I already knew. Hope dollars are so important to do our work here on Capitol Hill.
Sometimes, there's a lot of negativity around the fact that your issues can't get supported. That kind of thing makes you feel like, okay, they're people too, just like we are.
They do hear us, that they are out here.
I see the investments that are being made in other countries, in their mass transit systems. And when I come back home, when we have always been the envy of the world, I see the challenge that we're under. But rather than step up to the challenge of making real investments in that system, some of my colleagues in Congress would use this as an opportunity to go after our workforce.
Plenty of bad things that have happened to Michigan in the last few years, including being made a right-to-work state.
To go after workers, to go after you. And I can tell you, as the chairman of the subcommittee, we're just not going to let that happen under any set of circumstances.
That in itself shows you how important it is for labor to get involved in the process. Michigan should never be a right-to-work state.
We have to fight this political system to make it responsive to our needs as American citizens, not just as trade unionists.
I've been almost 10 years now on the railroad. Never really knew how much was involved in the politics side of our jobs, but it is very important.
We're all here for the same thing, and it's nice to be around people that get it.